So these two guys are financing physical violence against cyber slaves. Not only did they launder money from pig butchering romance scams, they ran operations out of a Cambodian scam center, a facility where trafficked laborers are routinely starved and beaten. Hi, I'm Melvin Naidu, owner of Justec Brand Protection, helping online content creators and businesses protect their brand and content online. Find me on LinkedIn to learn more. Now, these two guys are named Yicheng Zhang and Darren Li. Li is a native of Shanxi province, China. Zhang is a Chinese national who resided between China, Cambodia, and the UAE. So, the term pig butchering comes from a Chinese phrase meaning fattening up a pig before slaughter. These are a subset of romance scams that usually go like this. A beautiful stranger approaches you on a dating site, and on their profile is dozens or hundreds of pictures of them, often posing in exotic locations, in front of luxury cars, wearing expensive jewelry. You know, the usual influencer shtick. These profiles historically were made up of stolen images, but now a lot of it is just AI generated. Once they convince victims of their devotion and their financial success, they pitch fake investment opportunities with altered photos of bank and crypto balances, showing investments with huge returns. They convince their victims to invest, and once the money clears and there's no more money left to give, the scammer disappears with the victim usually broken-hearted, and with an unsustainable amount of debt. Zhang and Li were the money men at the top of this operation. These guys were career criminals who pretty much had no legit history before being tied to the scam. Li's role was to personally decide which accounts victim funds would be transferred to, while Zhang managed the commission structure for the low-level operatives. But if you think stealing from lonely, often older people is bad, it gets worse. Many of these scams operate out of Cambodian scam centers. Cyber slaves are lured with fake job offers in IT or customer service. When they arrive, their passports are taken, they're confined behind barbed wire and armed guards, and forced to work 12 to 16-hour days. If they fail to meet quotas, they're routinely starved and then beaten. By laundering the money and managing the commission structures, Zhang and Li effectively funded and enabled the cycle of abuse. Authorities estimate at least $73 million in victim funds were laundered. Zhang and Li were arrested earlier this year for conspiracy and international money laundering, each count carrying up to 20 years in prison. But the real victims aren't just the people scammed online. They're the trafficked workers forced to run these operations under the most brutal of conditions. By laundering the money and managing the system, Zhang and Li directly enabled the cycle of exploitation and abuse. With key players now being held accountable, there's hope the system can be dismantled and justice served. And if you're tired of scammers and counterfeiters making money off your original content, contact us at Justec Brand Protection. At JBP, we help online sellers and creators with counterfeiters, domain and website fraud, trademark registrations, and everything in between. And if you're into true crime stories like this one, like and subscribe, because staying informed is the best way of staying protected.